Donald Trump built his legacy on real estate, skyscrapers, golf courses, luxury hotels. His name is plastered across buildings all over the world. But in 2025, what does he actually still own? Is the Trump empire thriving or just branding and in debt? Here's the thing. The Trump organization has always been a black box. It's privately held company, so there's no public shareholder report laying it all out. But thanks to financial disclosures, court filings, and investigative journalism, we can still get a pretty sharp picture of where things stand today. Let's start with what Trump still owns outright, at least as of mid-2025. Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, still his. That's probably the most iconic piece of real estate in his portfolio right now. He declared it as his primary residence, and it's also his political headquarters and cash cow for private events. He bought it in 1985 for about $10 million, and today it could be worth well over $300 million. That's assuming, of course, you could sell it, which would be tough due to historic restrictions and zoning battles. Trump Tower in Manhattan, also still his. The penthouse apartment, where he used to claim 33,000 square feet when it was actually closer to 11,000, is still in the family. The commercial part of the building is mostly leased, but it's been under pressure. Foot traffic on Fifth Avenue isn't what it was, and some tenants left years ago during his presidency. Then there's the National Doral Golf Club in Miami, and that's another big ticket asset. He bought it out of bankruptcy in 2012 for about $150 million. Since then, it's been controversial and cash hungry. According to some reports, revenue dipped sharply after he took office, but it's rebounded slightly since leaving the White House. Bedminster Golf Club in New Jersey, still under the Trump umbrella. It's hosted 54 golf tournaments, and it's also where Melania's mother was recently buried. Trump has floated the idea of being buried there himself. And don't forget 40 Wall Street, a historic skyscraper downtown. Trump has a long-term ground lease there. It's a moneymaker, but it's been the subject of scrutiny for alleged asset inflation. We'll get to that in a second. So yes, he still owns real assets, but now comes the messy part: litigation and debt. The New York civil fraud case brought by Attorney General Letitia James accused Trump and his company of inflating the value of their assets by billions to secure favorable loans and insurance terms. In February 2024, a judge ruled against Trump and ordered a $355 million penalty with interest, and that figure ballooned past $450 million. As part of that ruling, Trump was temporarily barred from running any business in New York. His sons had to step in and manage operations, and a court-appointed monitor was assigned to oversee key financial moves. That means even if he technically owns something, his ability to make decisions about it is restricted. Now, let's talk about what he's lost or sold off. The Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C., which was in the old post office building, gone. It was sold in 2022 for $375 million to CGI Merchant Group, which rebranded it into a Waldorf Astoria. That sale likely cleared a major chunk of debt tied to the property, but it also ended one of Trump's most controversial branding opportunities. Other properties in international markets have quietly disappeared. The Trump Hotel in Panama is no longer Trump branded. Same with projects in Toronto and Istanbul. Some were never owned outright, just licensing deals. But the association with the Trump name was enough to spark backlash in those countries. One by one, those deals either expired or were stripped off buildings entirely. So what does that leave? Licensing deals are still part of the Trump business model. Trump makes money by slapping his name on, buildings, golf courses, and products. It's the same model he used in the 90s when, he was rebuilding from bankruptcy. But those licensing fees are not what they used to be. His name is more politically radioactive now. And in many markets, that's just not a smart branding move anymore. According to Forbes, Trump's net worth as of 2025 hovers around $2.3 billion, with a significant chunk still tied up in real estate. But a large portion is not liquid. It's equity in buildings, golf clubs, and long-term leases. When you factor in legal judgments, court restrictions, and expiring loans, it paints a murky picture. Here's an example. 40 Wall Street. Trump valued it at over $500 million in some documents, but Deutsche Bank pegged it closer to $200 million when reviewing his creditworthiness. That's not a small discrepancy. And the New York court found similar issues in multiple filings. Another example, Trump Tower. The commercial space is generating income, but the retail part has high vacancy. The Gucci lease is still in place, but many smaller tenants have left. If Trump wanted to sell it, the market wouldn't reward him with a high valuation. Real estate has softened, and being attached to his name is a double-edged sword. So what does all this mean? It means Trump still owns a lot of properties, but they're under pressure. Some are cash producing, others are losing value or tied up in legal fights. And the illusion of being a mega billionaire with endless real estate is wearing thin under the weight of court scrutiny and debt. Even Trump himself has shifted his tone. He started focusing more on fundraising and media deals than on building new properties. His core real estate portfolio hasn't expanded in years. If anything, it's been in slow retreat. That doesn't mean he's broke, but it does mean the Trump real estate empire of 2025 is a shadow of the one he promoted in the 1980s. Or even during the Apprentice era, the brand still carries weight in certain circles. But the physical empire, it's shrinking, slowly but undeniably. The bigger question now is whether Trump's legal issues will force him to liquidate more assets, and whether his brand can survive without the buildings to back it up. Thanks for joining us today at Due Process Daily. Throw us a like and consider subscribing to the channel to help us grow.